So today we will learn how to consume or how to use data cubes. If you have already data cubes, you need to use them. Today we are going to last part of our project. In our project, lastly, we have designed data cube from the data warehouse. And then we have loaded this data warehouse using this stage database. And then we have loaded this stage database using the operational database. Now today we will learn the last section of this project, and we will complete this project. Starting from the next lesson, we will continue with data mining topics. Now, how can you consume these data cubes? Let's open our project first to see what we have done before. In our previous lessons, we have done one multidimensional project by using analyze service. Let's open it, and then let's open our data cube. These are data cube. By using this data cube, you can make some analysis. For example, you can see the sales amount by country, location by country. And you can make like that analyze. You can do similar analyze using database, but you will get wrong answers if you are using database. We have several times told, because, for example, if one customer moved from India to the USA, in the operational database, simply you are going to use update query. Update query will overwrite the previous data. It cannot keep the historical data. To keep the historical data, you need to data warehouse. Or simply, if you have one product, for example, in your online shopping website, if you are selling one product, and if price of that product is changed, for example, in the operational database, this means in the traditional database, simply you are using update query. Update query will delete the previous price, and it will write the latest price on it. All right. That's why you cannot keep the historical information related to your products. But if you have data warehouse system, you can keep these all historical attributes. And you can use, for example, type 0, type 1, and type 2 change and historical change. And slowly changing dimension properties, you can keep all track of these changes. We have explained them in our previous lesson. Just for now, to revise it, I have mentioned them. And then also we thought data warehouse and data cube exactly have the same logical design, but data warehouse staying inside the relational database server like Microsoft SQL Server, but data cube, they are staying on the OLAP server, like, for example, Microsoft Analyze Server. And then data cube is an array, multidimensional array-like structures. That structure of the data warehouse, already know, it is a entity-based database, tables, and then the relationship between them. Usually, we are going to use star schema to design it. This means data cube can work very faster than data warehouse. Yes. For example, this is a one analyze or query. You can ask the data cube. For example, when you run this one, you will see your total sales by countries. Now, how can you consume this one? If, for example, if you want to consume, then actually this section of lesson, it is not part of out of our scope, but it is better to learn something about it. Actually, this section is a part of the BI, Business Intelligence course, in the data mining course. Actually, this section is not mentioned, but we will mention in this lesson. consuming data cube. How, if you have already designed data cube, for example, we have designed shopping data warehouse cube, and then we want to use it in our report or in our analyze. How can you use them? There are several methods. First of all, you can develop one application to use data cube, or you can use Excel, for example. You can open your data cube and you can query your data cube by using Excel, and you can prepare several nice reports or analyses about your database, from your data cube. Let's design one application first of all. So we told our data cube staying inside the OLAP server, inside the analyze server. That means we can connect it. If you want to connect database, traditional database, you need connection object, adapter object, and then one data structure which can keep inside it data, your data. For example, let's try to explain this part. For example, in one programming language, if you tell int a is equal to 3, in, for example, C++ or in Java, this means in the RAM memory, you are defining one place, reserving one place, and you are calling it A, and inside it, you are writing 3. This is your RAM. And temporary, you can keep this value inside the A. And name of this place in the RAM is called A. But when you are working databases, this generic data types is not enough. You should have class-based data types. For example, data table. You can tell, for example, you can define one data table, and data table, it looks like a table, exactly table, and more advanced data structure. It can hold inside it one complete database table. So data table is a class type data structure. That's why you should define it like that. For example, data table, DT, you can give one name, new data table. Yes, actually data table is one instance of class or object. But it is a type, like int A. For example, A is a type of the int. DT is a type of the data table. It is a special class data table. It is a type of the DT here, type of the data table. But we thought this data table is a one object, memory object, data memory object, and it can stay inside the RAM memory, and it can keep one whole database table. Yes. So if you want to assign number 3 to the A, you can write simply A is equal to 3. Yes. And 3 will go to the memory location of this one. And how can you assign a database table or data cube structure to the data table? To make it, you should use connection object and adapter object. Why at the beginning? Why we are going to use connection object? We are going to use connection object to make physical connection between your application, and then database server. Let's see let's see the first, our final working application. First of all, what we are doing, it is better to understand. For example, we want to this result came from the data cube. Yes, data cube. And then we are going to analyze our data country by country to see the sold, how much product we have sold up to now. We want to design like that one application. So data connection object will make physical connection between your application and then OLAP server. OLAP server here, analyze service. And then adapter object in our daily life. For example, we are going to use mobile telephone adapter. Why we are going to use mobile telephone adapters? To load or to charge battery of the mobile telephone. Here, it is the same logic, same analogy. We are going to use adapter object to load our data table. Yes, to load our data table. Let's see the full code now. First of all, we are defining, we told data adapter, ADO, multidimensional MD, data adapter, DA, it is given name from you, new data adapter. It is object-oriented programming, and then just you are defining one new class. When you define, not the class, you are defining instance of a class. This means object, data adapter object. You are defining here one data adapter object. When you are defining this one, you can give two input parameters to it. One of them query. This means here our query, this one. We want to apply this query, and then we want to run it in this connection. And then before this, to execute this one, this means we need to do this connection object. How can you do this one? Before this one, you can do ADO-MD, multidimensional connection, new ADO-MD, using string, connection string. This connection string is a keeping information. It's a text. When you come here, you can see connection string is a text or string which keeping minimum required information to connect to OLAP server. And first of all, you should tell what is your data source, localhost. This means OLAP server or Microsoft Analyze server staying in our computer. We are staying in the same computer with it. Yes. If it is staying on the network or internet somewhere, you should write here IP number of your OLAP server. And catalog is a database. Which database? Let's see our database. SQL. First of all, let's connect to database. This is our database. Then let's connect to our Analyze server. When you connect to Analyze server, you will see our multidimensional databases. And then we have designed this one before. Data cube, yes. When you deploy it, when you deploy this one, when you deploy, it will go to the Analyze servers. And let's deploy it to see. Okay. It is deployed to the shopping data warehouse cube DB2. We have done it before. I am not explaining how to deploy. Just I want to show we have this one deployed. This means sent to the Analyze server. Now our data cube staying in our virtual studio. Now it is located also in the Analyze server shopping DB cube DB2. You can see it. Shopping DB cube DB2, this one. And inside it we have data cube. Shopping DB cube. When you go to your project, you can see shopping data warehouse cube. Yes, it is there. This means we sent our data cube from Visual Studio to the OLAP server. Now it is there and ready to use. Yes. Now we want to connect it from the Visual Studio. First of all, you should do connection object. After that, adapter object and data table object. After that, we will fill data adapter method. We will use the fill data adapter method to fill or load data tables. And then we have data grid view, and then source of the data grid view will be this table, and then you will see the result of the query. Now let's do this one in our application. For this one, you need to add one more project here. Add new project. Which type of project? You can add web-based project or Windows form project. For this one, for this example, we will add Windows form application. This means this program can run from the Windows form application for data cube. Great. Now we have one form application. You can do this one startup project. After that, when you click the start button, this project will work now. There is nothing here. That's why we will see one empty form, Windows form application. So now, as you see, we have one empty form. Now let's add one data grid. Some to this one, data grid view. And we want to display result of our MDX query, multidimensional query result in this data grid. Let's add one button. And you can change its name from button to the show. We changed the wrong place. Name is show. We should change the label, I think. Text here. When you double click it, when you click the show, but when you click the show button, we want to display the result of our query. We can copy paste from here. So how it is working? First of all, we will make ADO multidimensional connection. This connection will make connection between our application and then OLAP server, analyze server here by using connection string. Localhost shopping data warehouse cube. If you go to analyze server, it will go to the shopping data, this multidimensional cube. Yes, multidimensional database, we can tell. Shopping, we will have connection to this place. If you want to make connection to this one, you should use this name. If you want connection to this one, you should use this name. Yes, you will connect to here. First of all, here, this instance of the class is not recognized by the application. Why? Because we need to use this library. Let's add this library to our program. In Java, you are going to use import. In the C#, we are going to use using. Yes. Still, you need to add here this reference. How can you add reference? From here, you can right-click, add reference, and then you should add this library. If you don't know its place, it can be one of these places. Program file, Microsoft SQL Server. According to your version, it can be 140, something like that. It can be inside the assemblies folder or inside the ADMD net 100 folder. It can be somewhere else. Yes. If in my computer, I know it is in this place. Program file, Microsoft net, ADM net 140. It is in my version is different. That's why it can be 140, something like it. This is. And add. Okay. Now recognize everything. So there is a here try, catch, and final block. It is not our topic how it is working, but it will try to make connection. It will try to load connection before done. Connection will be done here. It will try to load our data table and display it on the data grid view. Data grid view is this one. What is this one? If you right click it, you can see its name is a data grid view 1. Name of this control is a data grid 1. Yes. It will load this one. If it cannot load, this means there is some error, and we will catch this error by using this code, and it will display here. And then finally, it will close our connection, because actually in the C# or Java, we don't need to close this connection because it will automatically close, because there's a garbage collection. Garbage collection, when you go to out of the scope, this block, all open object will be destroyed. But we want to make sure, because if there is something error happen, finally this code will always be executed, and in this execution we want to close immediately, because there is something error occurred here. We want to close because of the security reason. Database connection, physical connection will be destroyed, and then application will come to end. And then here, aim of this code is executing this query. We can execute this query here also. Right click, copy, let's execute that one here in our data cube. For example, we can let's open again. When you execute, this is that we have explained a multidimensional query. It is not SQL query. SQL query can work in the SQL server, but MDX query can work on the analyze server. This query will execute it on the analyze server. Also, you can execute this one from here. Right click, new query, multidimensional query. And you can execute here also. Yes. But if you are not database administrator, you cannot come to these places. That's why. Or if you are not developer, you cannot come to these places. That's why you should make one application for the people who wants to use this data cube. That's why we are developing this form application. Yes, and then now this application will execute this query. You can execute any query by changing this query. You can see the end result. Yes. Now let's start. Before starting, let's make sure this application is a startup application. And start. And show. And then we are going to see same result from our application. This is our DataCube application. By changing the query, you can get the any result from the OLAP server. Yes, close. Only you need to change this query. We told this query is not anymore SQL query. It looks SQL query, but it is not SQL query. Multidimensional extension query, and you should design it. You can design it anywhere. You can design it in Visual Studio. You can design it in Management Studio. You can design anywhere, and you can use it. You can consume it from one application. We have explained MDX query how to design it before too much, but let's. You can also, if you know how to write it, you can write it manually, or you can use this designer. For example, you can use this. For example, sales amount I want to see by country. You can design like that, and you can execute here. You can execute here. Also, you can convert it to the text form, and you can execute here. You can change here something if you want. Actually, you don't need to use all this part of them because it is very detailed query. For example, country, dimension properties, on unique, on rows, shopping, cell properties. This section is actually you don't need here. Yes, you can simplify your query. You will get the same result. So if you want to revise your knowledge how to design this MDX query, you can look at our previous lesson. In this lesson, we are just learning how to consume these MDX query from the applications. These are application, and you can develop any like that application. Now, next one, how can you consume our data cube from the Excel? For example, you can use Excel. In Excel, from Excel also you can connect your data cube, and then you can prepare professional looks, professional good looks reports. For example, you can go to data, and from other source, you can go other source, and you can tell from the analyze service. And what is name of server is a local server. If your server is not local, local means analyze server staying in the same PC with my Excel application. Yes, that's why you can write here local host, or you can just shortcut dot. But if analyze server is staying on the network somewhere, or on the internet somewhere, you should write here IP number of your analyze server. And next. And then you can see all application. Look at it is connected to analyze server. Look at all these databases. Look at all these databases in my analyze server, OLAP server. We will connect to this one. Or this one, which one? Let's see from our application, it was which one? Shopping DB, data warehouse, cube, data B, DB, yes, that one. This one. And then automatically, when you choose that database, when you choose this database, automatically inside it there is a one cube only. that cube coming be selected. Yes, it is already there. Just go next and finish. And you can prepare one of these reports: pivot chart, pivot table report, pivot view, on create connection. We want to do pivot table report in this example. First one. Okay. Now, in the Excel, you can prepare your queries easily. You can query easily. For example, again, location, country. By country, you can get any analyze. Or if you know this pivot, how it is working, you can use better option. Automatically, this is a sales amount is a rows. Yes, that's why. Not rows, values. Because they are measures. Yes, they are in the fact table, and then they are the values, and I want to show them here. In the rows, I want to show country. Yes, country. I am going country. Also, you can show cities. Yes. Yeah. For example, country by state. There is a two type of the form. Default one is outlined form like it. For example, country and city outlined form. But in the pivot analyze, people usually using tabular form. This one, tabular form in this form. Is a repeating here. Yes, this is a repeating section. Also, you can change your report into this form. To change it one, you should click this. This is the first one, country. City is the second one. One of these one you should select. If you right click here, you'll see different things. Yes. If you select the first row, country is a country section. You can click here, you can click here, you can click here. Anyone you can click. Let's click here. And field settings. And then you can tell show in tabular format and repeat the sections. And also if there's a blank line, you can show them. Now look at India, Hyderabad, Kyrgyzstan, Bishkek. It is a tabular form. In previous option, it was outlined form. Now it is a tabular form. And then by using Excel, you can prepare more good-looking reports from your data cube. There is other options. In this lesson, we have learned only two options. You can develop your own application to display the reports from the data cube, or you can use Excel to display like that reports. So, if you don't have any question, we will finish this lesson today.